Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think part of the tension with the parents really just came out of it was a hard thing to write because I'm writing as an adult, right? Who
Mm,
I could be Vero's parent. But the story is told through Vero's point of view, and it's for readers who could really see themselves in Vero, whether they're adults with just reconnecting to that teen part in themselves, or also primarily other teens. And so I really wanted to make sure to see it through Vero's eyes, but also understand the parents' point of view. And I think it kept coming down to like they love her so deeply, but sometimes they become overprotective. And even though that is rooted in love, it can really stifle her. So like Vero, at the beginning of each chapter, has word definitions, and it's like the first
yes, love
definition
that.
is yeah, thank you. The first definition is like the dictionary definition of a word, and the second definition is her version of how she would define that word. And a
Hmm.
lot of times those definitions are grappling with things like I know one of the words is suffocate, another word is suelta, which in English and Spanish like have different kind of, or excuse me, in English, well, the direct translation is let go, but in Spanish there's also it can often be used to describe like a loose woman. And this is
Hmm.
something that also her parents are very strict about, boy, like actually about sex in general, and how she can present herself as a young woman. And so much of it, like for her, she just wishes they would let go, right? They would let her have her independence. And for them, it becomes something about needing to figure out that journey too, of kind of trusting, like, you have to trust how you've raised this person, right? You have to trust um, that you've guided and taught them well to make the decisions that they'll make, and then also to make the mistakes they might make and learn from those. And so there's constantly that tension with them. And I know for a lot of people, depending on who's reading it, I've noticed that it's either too extreme that it seems to them, which is usually someone reading it who might not necessarily relate to Vero's cultural background. And then with a lot of Latinx readers, they'll just tell me like that's so relatable. And I think that sometimes what I've found, especially with Vero's family, because they're immigrants, because she is a young woman of color, um, in uh, navigating a world that has different rules for her than it may have for others. They're trying to protect her from that, but then they're also bringing their own very strict rules along with it under the guise of that protection. So it's a hard thing for them to navigate constantly, and it becomes a real source of conflict.
Mhm. Yeah. And one of the things that surfaced in terms of their conflict was a reason for them being protective and for the parents, that is,